And we are back. What's up, folks? Been a while. Been a hot minute. Been a week. NBA All-Star break also perfectly coincided with a 1 week ban from YouTube for apparently, violating one of their things that I know a bunch of other people have had to deal with. So, of all the bad luck that you could have, I don't think I've ever been as lucky to literally get that with an exact, link with the All-Star break. So that worked out really well.
Yeah, it worked out amazing. Couldn't have worked out better. And I don't want to say anything bad about YouTube because I don't know who's watching this. I don't want to put us up for a ban again, so we'll just leave it at that. I am definitely happy to be back with you talking some NBA, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever. We both kind of just sat down talking about all the things that we got accomplished, not DFS related for a week. But hey, we're back talking NBA. If you are catching this video really, really early, which won't go for a lot of you guys, but you got about an hour to hop onto Overlay right now and play in some of their golf contests that they got up there. I know you and I don't know squat about golf. I haven't even played in probably 3 years now, but I know a lot of you guys out there and some of you ladies love the DFS golf. So they got these contests up here. They got head-to-heads. They got progressive jackpots. They got a little bit of everything that could possibly tickle your fancy. I want people to encourage them to go give it a whirl. And if you don't get there in time, well, we can always roll back over to our classic NBA contest. That $22 contest jackpot is damn near $11,000 right now. Somebody's got to hit that bad boy real soon. Why not one of you guys? And if you can't win, you still got the Slump Buster Challenge, which is out there for you, which means that if you lose the same contest 20 times, they will refund all your money. Go 0-12. They give you $500. They have so many ways for you to get some money in your account.
You said, why not one of you guys? Because it's going to be me. That's the only reason why.
Well, maybe you'll be splitting with somebody. So anyways, guys, welcome back. Glad to be talking some basketball right now. So when we left off last week, prior to the ban, prior to the All-Star break, we had talked about the 5-pack deal of the week going up through last Friday. Because of the 1 week, we will just start where we ended, and that will go through tomorrow. So you have today and tomorrow to get one of our best deals of the year. That is a full season of baseball. Mr. Bellman over there with multiple $50,000 wins last year. It's all about playing contrarian within the MLB GPP format. $69 right now will get you the entire baseball season and 10 days of NBA for free. The link to the website is below.
Yeah, let's get it, man. Excited to hop back in. Really excited for baseball. Excited to talk this slate. So let's do it.
All right, so let's start with a bigger money guy, and let's check out Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. So I kind of think that this might be the third time this year that we've talked about Embiid versus the Nets. And the last two times he was like a scratch or ruled out during the day. So let's go right back to this juicy matchup that we've all wanted to take advantage of all season long and really have not got the opportunity to do. Since the dawn of time, the Nets have given up major DFS points to centers. Nothing's changed. It's exactly the same this year. It is one of the weakest teams in the association against opposing big men. Embiid is set up to absolutely eat tonight. This is a complete and utter smash spot. You know it. Matt knows it. We all know it. Awesome. So I don't think you're sneaking up on anybody here with Joel Embiid. The Nets are awful versus centers. It's common knowledge around the DFS world. Now, with no Kyrie for the foreseeable future, now that, surprise, surprise, Kyrie's hurt, shocker right there, I think the Nets play hard tonight. And while I don't think they really have a good opportunity to win this game, I'm banking on them keeping it within 15, keeping the game relatively competitive. In Philadelphia, where the 76ers play better. I expect a solid effort from them. And again, I don't expect them to win. Just keep it so Embiid sees his full run of minutes. No game tomorrow. They don't play until they play my Bucks again on Saturday. So as long as the game is semi-competitive, he should see his full allotment of minutes. Also, 76ers, first half was not great, from their expectations. Clearly they're going to make the playoffs, but it wasn't exactly as fluid as they would have liked. I think they get off to a nice start in the second half tonight. And I think Embiid is the reason for it right here. So I just expect him to walk into about 50 points tonight. Solid for all formats. Also should be relatively popular.
So a couple things here. One, he's not even that big money. He's $9K. He's not cheap, but he's more than affordable at $9K. There's guys that are much more expensive than him that you would put Embiid in the same class as. Gotta like that he's also not going to be having a cast tonight. Finally playing without it. He's just going to have his fingers taped. Didn't really seem to bother him that much, but can't hurt that he doesn't have the cast tonight. I agree with you on all aspects of this game. He looks really good. Insert big man against Brooklyn here. The only reason I don't consider him like a lock is because of higher, bigger money guys that are in play on this slate. So he's firmly on my short list. I like him a lot here. Only reason I play him is because there's guys I like slightly more. But if I had to make one lineup right now, he's in it.
And the Bulls, which we'll get into one of their guys here shortly, give you some cap space tonight, and I'm sure we'll get more because we always do. So it's going to be easy to afford him or two other big guys tonight.
No doubt about it.
All right, so let's move down. So something that I know we both like to do when it works out, unfortunately with stars and scrubs getting pushed onto us way too often because of all the sits in the NBA, you don't get to roll with the mid-tier a lot. But when the day starts, a lot of times we like the mid-tier, and I know you love this game. And one of the guys that you're a big fan of tonight is going to be Rocco, who has shown us early with Houston. He should see a ton of minutes, and he should take a ton of threes, and he's shown big GPP value twice already.
Yeah, so all your points here are absolutely correct. I like this game a lot, but even if you don't like this game as much as I do, I think it's hard to go through the slate and not want Houston exposure. You've obviously got the two guys up top in Harden and Westbrook. They're expensive. You got to really prioritize them. Now, they're firmly in play if you want to prioritize one or both of them. But I think you got to get some Houston exposure outside of that. And Covington just looks good here, coming off a really good game before the break in a great spot here. I love the second to last point. Like, this is a guy who can create a lot of turnovers against a turnover prone heavy team. I like him a lot here. He's the cog in the machine type of play with upside in this spot. He's going to play a ton of minutes. We've seen, Houston kind of change their team a little bit, and Covington's now their third option. I like him a lot.
He's going to shoot a ton of threes for Houston. So, funny story, I had men's league basketball last night, and our team sucks, and we got absolutely destroyed by the opponents. And at one point, this guy who's really, really good came down and shot a mid-range over one of our players, drains it. And the captain of our team joking around, he goes, yeah, you may have made that, but if you were playing for Houston, they'd be pissed at you right now. Because of D'Antoni's system, he wants people in the paint or shooting threes. Covington, I think as the season progresses, and he's had a couple of days now to get some practice in with this team, this guy might average 10 3-pointers per game because that's what they need out of him. Attempts, not makes.
I agree. He knows his role. He fits that role really well. He's a consummate pro. He is a nice fit there. Now, I don't think that Houston's good enough to get out of the West, but he is a nice fit there.
Agreed. He's like a slightly better Trevor Ariza because Ariza's aged. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he fit into that system for a long time. He works there. I didn't like giving up on Clint Capella, but there's no doubt about it. Covington fits what D'Antoni wants.
Houston, I don't think will come out of the West. It wouldn't shock me. They're kind of with Denver, and I would kind of put Utah there where yes. I don't expect those teams to come out. But they're good, and if they somehow did it, I wouldn't be shocked. But really, it's the Lakers or Clippers.
Exactly, the Lakers or Clippers, and then you named those teams that are they have a fighter's chance.
Exactly.
All right. So speaking of the Chicago Bulls, there's a couple of guys I think you can look at today on this team in order for cap space. They're still going in with no marketing. There's no Wendell Carter. Now Hutchinson is out. So there's a variety of Chicago Bulls players you can use tonight for a little bit of cap space. And I'm looking at Daniel Gafford for $3K as of right now. I actually want to shimmy down to the last bullet point. Oftentimes within NBA DFS, starting can be overrated. This is a situation where if I use Gafford or not, I do prefer him if he is starting tonight. Now, even DK says it. He is listed as a full go this evening. They expect to give him the minutes that he can handle. They are obviously decimated within the front court, again, with no Carter or Markkanen. And if you have to look at what is the Bulls' desire, they know what they have with Felicio. It's not a guy that they really want as a major part of their rotation, but with a young guy like Gafford against a Hornets team that just flat out is awful against centers, he doesn't need a lot of court time in order to hit some version of value tonight. Now, I expect him to get good minutes, but I definitely prefer it if he's starting. I have more confidence in his role if that's the case.
I agree, and I actually don't think he's going to be that highly owned regardless. I think that obviously if he's announced as the starter early, his projections are going to shoot up and he'll probably be popular. But the opportunity cost of using him at center will keep a lot of people away. There's two things at play. One, there's a lot of other centers, and he's only other center eligible. And then two, you talked about there's a lot of guys out for Chicago, so there's other guys from the Bulls in play, that we'll talk about more on the members-only video. He's one of a few of them, but I couldn't agree more, man. If he's starting, he's my favorite one.
Absolutely. Charlotte is not – we haven't said they're good against guards all year, but they actually don't give up major points against stars. Now, it's not because their defense is great, it's because they get absolutely killed on the inside.
And they play at a real slow pace, which hurts guards and doesn't necessarily hurt big men, you know?
So, again, I don't look at Gafford as a must, but if he's starting, I may be looking at running him and Embiid as of right now at the center and the utility positions.
I get that.
All right, so we're going to go right back to Matt's game right here, which is the Rockets at the Warriors tonight. You're looking at Mr. Draymond Green, again, highest total of the night. And you're kind of thinking he might see a lot of time at center tonight because Houston goes so small.
Yeah, Houston goes really small. So we know that they like to have Draymond handling the rock a lot. As of right now, their main offensive core, it seems like, is Draymond, Wiggins, and then another guy that's playing really well, we'll talk about, is Marquise Chris. Well, Draymond is a guy that can kind of play all those roles as far as bringing the ball up the court and playing big is if Houston goes extremely small, which they tend to do every game now. I think that you hit the nail on the head earlier when you brought up the mid-tier. I like the mid-tier quite a bit. I think it does get left behind because of the value that's going to come out, the value that's already out on Chicago. We brought up one guy. There's much more there. I love this spot for Golden State, who's not good, but they are rested. Houston is rested too, but their two main players were not as rested considering they played in the All-Star game. I just like this spot for Draymond, and we don't need Golden State to win this game. I kind of view it like you do the Nets in Philly. I just think that Golden State keeps this game within 10, 15 in the fourth quarter, and all these guys see their normal run. At 6,500, I told you, and I'll say it here, I think Draymond walks into 40-plus DK points if this game is close.
There you go, guys. That's the mid-tier. I miss the days, and it feels like it's been years since you got to attack the mid-tier more regular. I missed when people forced stars and scrubs when it didn't come out naturally or organically. Now these days, so many days, you're like, okay, I got all these guys between 5 and 8K that I love, and then the next thing you know, there's like 12 guys at 3K that you have to at least take a solid look at. So it's kind of annoying how many sits there are in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, guys, that's what we got. Thumbs up is appreciated. Last 2 days of the baseball sale, all available through the website. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful Thursday.
Thanks, guys.